The bombshells continue with Black Clover chapter 233. I mean, between some of the comedy, because whoo, this chapter gave me a couple laughs with Charmy in the beginning of all this, kind of seeing that she's gotten even stronger, she's advanced more. Little introduction to a new character. I want to say new character, I don't remember this character. Petrov, new character that was introduced, which I want to say that's somebody from the Heart Kingdom, one of the mages from the Heart Kingdom. Again, I could be off. The big shocking revelation of who YUNO really is and his name, all that jazz, just a lot. Again, the Black Clover time skip is continuing to boom, bam, be exciting, be entertaining, and all around insightful to the verse of Black Clover. Let's talk about it. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. So the chapter picks up from where the last one left off, and Asta is there in front of Charmy. I ain't gonna lie, that very first panel of Charmy and her facial expression as she's eating, I freaking loved it. I ain't gonna lie. Seeing how Charmy, of course, one of the things is that she has advanced and she's going nuts, and you can see that she kind of got like a little, I don't remember Charmy being that freaking vicious when it comes to food. I don't know if the food in the Heart Kingdom is just that damn good, but even Petrov, which again, I want to say that was a new character. I might be off. I just don't remember Petrov, or maybe that's one of the mages of the Heart Kingdom that, like, you know, Gaja, one of the spirit mages, I want to say they're called. But either way, that's the person that trained not only Charmy, but Real, which it seems as though we're getting a lot more stuff. Like, I really thought that when this whole thing started, we were just going to have Asta and a few of these characters, but it seems as though a lot of people been really training in these 6 months leading up until this war. And Charmy was just like, yo, I can't get over it. There's going to be a bloodbath if you try to take me away from this food. And you see that her sheep are nuts, and like, honestly, that was just a nice breakaway from what we've been having, because it's been so freaking intense with Black Clover, minus I guess last chapter's little hot springs scene, even though it did feel a little bit ominous with Loro Pachica, but that's another story. It seems as though like it was a good way to start off the chapter, just a breakaway from the norm. Charmy, always a nice comedic relief, and I ain't gonna lie, I just gotta throw it in there. Charmy called it from a long time ago, saying that YUNO was her prince. I'm just saying, before we even talk about that, Charmy, a prophet there, a very little chubby prophet at that, with her Usopp time skip stuff. I love it. I love Charmy. Then we get a little bit more about Real, and apparently Real has a real, no pun intended, crush on Charmy and doesn't even realize it yet, because he goes and he mentions that in the Elf arc, the person that saved him is so amazing and is the inspiration for all of his art, and he hopes to meet, and you don't realize that that's the person right there, that Charmy, the little chubster right there, is the one that saved you. So very interesting stuff that they're starting to explore different relationships, different aspects for these characters, because it would be a, you know, we got a time skip now, let's shake things up a little bit. So Real having that crush on Charmy, even though he doesn't realize it, when Asta's pointing out like the person that saved you is right there, and he's like, no, the person that saved me was not fat like that, okay? And then the comeback from Charmy, bro, like the comedy in this one, I'm sorry, I loved it. Charmy like, I'm what's in right now, okay? I'm what they call thick. Thank you very much. I loved it. And honestly, the first half of the chapter, for the most part, very comedic, very lighthearted, but fun at the same time. And, you know, seeing Asta, that one panel, I'm not gonna lie, the panel of Asta and Real when they go at it and put Charmy down and, you know, kind of, which again, it was all comedic, wrapped her up in a ball and stuff like that. That panel looked gorgeous, though. I just love it. Every time I see now Asta on his Demon Slayer flying and shit, I go crazy. I love it. It's like a badass, more modernized, but at the same time crazy looking version of like Goku on Nimbus. I can't get over it. So, and especially the way it looked, like Real and Asta in that panel, awesome. Again, putting Charmy down, and I'm interested to see what this is going to lead to, if any more like evolutions for Charmy in the future, because again, she went beast mode in this one, even though she was put down because it was more comedy based. She's trained and she's gotten stronger as well. Even Petrov said it. So it's going to be interesting to see the next time Charmy has to go at it, how she's gonna move and her powers and whatnot. Then the second half of the chapter is where things really got exciting, because of course, the very first chapter, the time skip, the ending, it was a foreshadowing of this moment right here, this chapter, where we got that guy that passed on and said, Master YUNO, in Hodge Village. YUNO returns to Hodge Village, which I will say this, you know, critically looking at it, they took out a certain element, and maybe it's because it's doing things different, because one of the things I always thought was, and again, they kind of returned so many times that it's already really like not special. I always thought it would have been a great and special moment for, after a very long time of Asta and Yuno not returning to Hajj, they finally return to Hajj village, and you know, they're beefed up, they're strong, they're, you know, either Wizard King or captains or something like that. And you know, them returning, what was it, in the Elf arc they returned, and the anime I think they returned a couple times as well, like, even though that's kind of filler or whatnot. But them returning so many times to Hajj village, it doesn't have like that impact anymore. Like, I would have liked, again, for the Hajj village returns to be at a very minimal of like not at all really returning. So the fact that, don't get me wrong, it goes great with the story and, you know, everything with the reveal of that guy and everything he said about Yuno, but in terms of just that shock value of returning home and being like, yo, look at what I've done, definitely that aspect of like the suspense and the, you know, oh, this is a special moment has definitely diminished. And I guess Tabata really wasn't going for that anyways, so it's not a big issue, but I would have liked personally for it to have been more special, like when they eventually do return to Hajj, but that kind of already had been ruined because they went to Hajj so many times. Although I guess there's the argument that the Elf arc was that special moment when they returned in the Elf arc to save people at Hajj village, whatever. And now that Yuno got that necklace on his neck, which he's had since he was dropped off at the orphanage, definitely something from his origins, kind of putting everything into perspective, because this one was a full-blown like, okay, you guys been wanting to know who's Yuno for a long while, right? Well, now you're gonna know, even though it kind of complicates things more, because remember, Yuno and Asta showed up at the exact same time at the orphanage doorstep. So if Yuno is what he is, then that gotta make you question, well, does that mean Asta is of the same ilk, or is it just they happen to be dropped off at the same time because of other circumstances? What's up with that? Whereas if this is Yuno's lineage, does that mean that that's also Asta's lineage? Because upon Yuno entering the room, the old dude that passed out said, oh my god, he's the splitting image of Master Seal, and starts giving down a lot of information basically about the Nation of Spade and the Glenbolian family, which basically that's Yuno's name if I'm not mistaken. Which, so we got big revelation in this chapter. We got Yuno Glenbolial, something along the lines that I can't really pronounce that shit, but so that's Yuno's full name, which as we go on, don't worry, I'll get better at it. We got Yuno's full name, we got his heritage, because dude drops the bombshell, Yuno, you're our last hope, you're from the Nation of Spade, basically you're the prince of the Nation of Spade. And yo, again, the questions that go through my mind after getting that revelation. So wait, if he's from the Nation of Spade and he's basically like a prince, again, what does that mean for Asta? Also, what does that mean for his role in Clover Kingdom? Does that mean he can no longer vie for the title of Magic Emperor or Wizard King in the Clover Kingdom because he's technically from another kingdom? Or is it because he's already adopted, he can go for that? That's going to be a very pivotal changing moment, so to speak, for Asta and Yuno's rivalry, because they've been, since chapter 1, fighting for who's going to be the Wizard King, who's going to prevail in the end. Now things might be different. Who knows? If Asta also is from the Nation of Spade, maybe he's, again, like I said in my spoiler video, a bastard child, that also might eliminate Asta from it. But I just see, no matter what, this manga is going to end with Asta becoming the Wizard King. I don't see it any other way. Maybe Yuno might be, though, the emperor of this place as well, so Yuno will run the Spade Nation and Asta will run the Clover Kingdom, which I ain't mad at it at all. But then we also get a lot of information about the Nation of Spade and how it wasn't really always like this. When the Glenbolio family was running it, it was a peaceful place. So it must have been a while ago. I mean, then again, how long has it been since the Nation of Spade been on the move? I mean, they just started recently attacking, but they haven't been on the move that long. So probably around the time that Yuno was born and dropped on that doorstep alongside Asta was when the Dark Triad attacked and like took over. Because according to this guy, the Nation of Spade was real peaceful, things was different, and I'm interested because now we got a full-blown intro into, oh, so Yuno's parents are from the Nation of Spade, and obviously they're not a part of the Dark Triad because of Master Seal has, you know, been dethroned or whatever happened to him. He's obviously not in power anymore in the Nation of Spade. Something probably happened. Probably Yuno's parents are dead. Maybe this dude was the one that dropped Yuno there to begin with. Maybe Asta is his cousin. Maybe he was like a cousin that was like, you know, the last two people from this family bloodline that got saved and we had to drop them anywhere we can. I don't know, but that was a huge bombshell, at the end of Black Clover chapter 233. Very, very big. I don't even know what to think of it right now, because again, the series has really teased so many things, and then every time we think we know exactly what it is, it's like bam. Again, Asta could totally not be related to Yuno, or he could be a cousin or a brother or a bastard child, or you know, there's a lot of different options. But definitely going to be interesting to see where Yuno's character goes, because now that he's kind of getting this responsibility thrown at him, is he going to shoulder it? Is he going to be like, well, despite what I want to do for Clover Kingdom, these are my original people, I need to go help my people as well, even if I have to don the name of, you know, what I should be to begin with, and that's Prince of, you know, the Nation of Spades. So it's going to be interesting to see how that goes. And again, the big fight against the Dark Triad. Curious what you guys think about this though. Do you think that Asta's a brother, Asta's a cousin? Like, how is it if this guy is from the Nation of Spade, he's a prince from the Nation of Spade that was dropped there, why was Asta dropped at the same time as him? Like, what's up with that? Who is Asta if this is who Yuno is? And again, Charmy called it. Charmy! Your overall thoughts and speculations for where this is moving forward. I'm curious. I want to see a full-blown backstory now of Master Seal, whoever Yuno's father really is. And just, man, Black Clover continues to be greatness. That's all I have for this one though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links of course are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule: anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in.
Enjoy the next ride, but I was the best ride.